broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Why, hello, everybody, and welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV's recap of the hit slaptastic week of Days of Our Lives. We are here live. I am your host, Tony Moore, and I am also joined by my wonderful co-host. We have, with the highest hair to the heavens of God, he is
Mark J Freeman.
And we also have
Peter Ramos.
Now, before we start, I want to say thank you to all of you guys who have continued coming in each week. As you notice, we are now earlier because our East Coast fans were like, it's so late. We wish you guys would do it earlier. Well, we're now here doing it earlier. So there you go.
We listen to you.
Yes, we listen to you guys. So now we're going to be at...
sometimes. Not day one.
You guys have a love-hate relationship.
We do.
So we're now going to be recapping the week of Days of Our Lives every Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that way everyone can join in because we definitely don't want you to miss it. Also, just to let you guys know, please go and friend our Dishin Days page. We're trying to up that up. So if we get to 1,000...
Up that up?
Yeah, up that up. We're going to up that up.
It's a technical term
We're
here in Hollywood. We're upping that up.
Hashtag we going to up that up. If we get to 1,000 friends, we are going to start giving away some wonderful prizes, provided one by Jen Lilly, who gave us a whole slew of stuff.
That I might steal.
We have like scripts.
We have
mouse pads.
A mouse pad.
The cards.
We have calendars.
The cards.
The cards were the best.
Oh, yeah, the 3D cards. Mm-hmm. So we have a
Las Vegas wedding cards.
Yes.
That are very super exclusive.
So we have a lot of stuff to give away, and we want you guys to start sharing our videos because each week, if we get to 2,000 views, if you are in our chat room the following week, we're going to give away a prize to those people in the chat room. So get those views up. Get them up. Whatever,
and iTunes too.
On iTunes,
yes. Make sure they
and
like
SoundCloud, and all of that. So make sure you join in. So now, gentlemen, it is now time that we start Dishin Days.
We're gentlemen.
Well, see, I'm trying to incorporate.
I think it's the ties.
Well, I'm trying to incorporate.
Professional.
Yeah, I'm trying to incorporate the Dishin because I always forget. Like Dishin, it sounds like, oh, what's a unique way that I can be like, let's start Dishin Days. So that's how I'm gonna do it now. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Shall we flip it?
Let's flip it. All right, so
we need a sound effect for that. We need to work on this.
Listen, we are a work in progress, so it's all going to start. So let's start off with.
Don't read. Are we? I thought we're not allowed to read.
No, I'm pulling up. That's right, Mark. You are not allowed to read the chat room. However, I have to pull up my notes because I like to make sure I'm professional.
I hear you.
So we're going to kick things off with the Xander, Nicole, Serena, Daniel storyline. First of all, Nancy Drew is on the case, a.k.a. Nicole, and she is now trying to figure out what is the connection between Xander and Serena. And I love when she plays reporter because she does the silliest antics, like this whole oh, I hurt my ankle, and can you go get ice? And then she flips to the phone and finds the photo of the elephant. Now, once again, we're obsessed with this elephant.
Ted the elephant.
Yeah, it was funny because I don't know if I wrote it in my notes, but I was thinking this week, I literally could just watch a show of Ari Zucker in that office talking to herself.
With her daydreams.
Anybody else who has those moments of talking to themselves, I'm just like, I'm tired of watching them talk to yourself. And her, I'm just like, keep talking to yourself. Keep talking to yourself. I love that.
It's because it's the facial expressions. It's that deep thought, like, wait a minute. She said there was only one, but I could have sworn I saw two. No, there were two. I know there was two. She's up to something.
I love it. And every time this stuff happens too, and I'm going to say it again, it just makes me want to bring back The Spectator and have all these people working in an office together. I mean, it would be fantastic.
It would be great.
It not be?
Yeah, I agree.
So who would work at The Spectator other than Nicole?
Well, let's start with #Maxine's son.
You'd be the editor-in-chief?
He'll be the intern.
I can come in as a reporter.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I can see that.
Work my
So
way
it'd be
up.
Jennifer, it'd be...
Well, Jennifer's at the hospital now.
I think if they use our idea, we should be.
Well, I know one person that Mark wants. Hashtag bring Jack back.
Bring Jack back.
But I feel like Nicole is working at this no-name media place,
Right.
and she's always on some sort of case that applies to the people that she knows.
Yeah.
So, but what I do feel bad about is that she's working on it by herself because she doesn't have someone that she can trust to work with
She's
her.
going to try and trust Daniel.
Well, listen, even though she had that little daydream of talking to Daniel and telling him the truth, we all know it's not going to happen
and it
like
was
that.
funny because until they showed that daydream, I thought, okay, maybe this will be the thing. This will be the thing that works. But as soon as they saw the daydream, no, now it's not going to work.
No, it's not.
Why
No, it's
else
not
would
going
you
to work
show
at
that
all.
daydream?
Yeah, it's going to show what she wants, and then we're going to see that it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But what I'm kind of worried about now is that she's kind of been playing, Xander and pretending like, she likes him and everything. Which by the way, I really think her and Xander would have worked perfectly together because the little moment that they had when he was massaging her,
That was creepy.
Loved it.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was creepy.
It was not creepy.
Because the cameraman
Creepier than Stefano licking Marlena's leg?
Oh my God!
Don't make me go there.
That was creepy.
Yeah, you
But
were
they
right
That was
about
creepy.
zoomed in on that foot, for those, just I don't know.
Well,
I just
because
found creepy.
it created a moment where like he was being a man and like she was a damsel in distress and he was like, "Tell me where it hurts," and then she's just like, "Feel better."
I just love them together. I hope if we keep talking about it and people keep tweeting about it, that they will bring him back because I really like them together.
Yeah, I do too. But
And I think I don't know. I smile. I always catch myself smiling with them.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be mad at who else I was smiling at this week, but I'll talk about it later.
But now that Serena comes into the picture and meets up with Xander, because she always has to meet up with Xander at some point in time, and she was trying to do damage control. I forgot why though.
Because she had told Daniel that Nicole was at his hotel.
Right. So then she calls Xander and is like, "Oh, I need to see you." She heads over, and that's when Xander realizes that the photo of the elephant that was viewed by Nicole.
Phone.
Yeah. And so Serena's kind of putting the pieces of the puzzles together.
But Xander doesn't want to believe
No,
that.
he doesn't.
Well, but his wheels are starting to turn too.
Towards the end of the week it was.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
she first brought it up, he was like,
No.
crazy.
But then it was kind of like, okay, and now Xander is
Well, when he caught
suspicious.
when he caught Nicole in front of Daniel's apartment when they were both showing up because of the elephant.
Yeah.
Once again.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Lou.
Oh, Lou. Just when she figured out a way, because poor Nicole could not figure out a way to get into that apartment so that
And
she could view the elephant.
Unfortunately, Derek's
I would
not
be-
working there.
And see, if Derek was working, he would have been on it.
Actually, that when they didn't say who it was, I was like, did she ever see Derek at the apartment building? Maybe she's calling back. That's literally what I thought.
When he lost his job at the other
But like,
hotel.
I would be more.
He
I
got
wish
hired
they
at
would
this one.
just send her with like a lock picking kit and let her pick the lock.
I mean,
I would think she's smart enough to figure that out herself. Watch
By
a
this
YouTube
time,
tutorial.
yeah. Or, I mean, she's been with Daniel for a while. She should have a spare key somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, she's turned in that key so many times.
Probably. Well, luckily she knows Lou, who was gonna let her in
I
until
like
Xander
Lou.
showed up.
I like when she asked whatchamacallit to let her into the apartment. She was like, "Oh no, Maggie."
Oh, Maggie.
Maggie's like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
Maggie was like, "Oh no, I let Serena in. You see how well that turned out." Maggie was like, "I am not having it."
Yeah, and then just the whole conversation with Eric about the elephant, I was just kind of like
The interrogation of it.
yeah, I was.
By the way, I just like how when Tony's talking, he pushes the cord aside like it's.
I always do that. Well, because it gets in the way.
He just like.
It gets in the way. It's like cord move. And I
Sorry, I
so
just
that
laugh
way
every time I see
that
it.
way I know when you guys are talking, the camera's not on me, so I just kind of move it out of the way so that way people don't see.
And then we mention it so that it goes back on you and they
Right.
can see.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Go ahead, continue.
So Eric and Nicole are having a
just like,
conversation.
yeah, it was just like just a lot of the same, you know what I mean? Like rehashing what has already happened, and then he's like, well, "Why are we talking about this again?" And it's like, exactly.
And everybody's asking about why
Yeah.
are we talking about this again?
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
But no,
Yeah.
that was just a storyline.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. I mean, that.
Oh, and they did talk about the diamonds.
Once again.
Because he said he's waiting for the final word on the diamonds, and he would know by the end of the week. And I don't know if that's a Days of Our Lives week, which could be a month from now,
right.
or it could be an actual week, and that was this week.
I must have pizza rolls because
right.
I must have
it was
out.
very quick because I was like, oh, finally somebody, because I had said last time, are they even looking for what happened with the diamonds?
Yeah.
So that's why it stood out to me.
And I think that's probably why. And we already know Melissa Archer is not on the show anymore. Neither is Paul.
I heard that they're leaving together.
Okay, well that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like the storyline didn't catch on with us because I feel like they stretched out the whole elephant thing, and now it's the diamonds, and it's kind of like, okay, listen, you got the elephant, you got the diamonds, give it to them, boom, bam, boom, we're done.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've been reading comments in Facebook pages and in our YouTube pages. A lot of people are saying, poor Melissa, that she has to put up with this kind of storyline because it's just like it's so beneath her acting skills, and everybody was like so excited that she was going to be on Days. And then to give her this, I don't want to say crappy, but
yeah, you can say it.
Uninteresting.
We don't work for NBC. We can say it.
An interesting storyline. It's just like she can only do so much.
Yeah,
and it's just sad.
Yeah,
because there could have been so much potential with that character.
Yeah,
or
even the actress
to play devil's advocate, she could have done more with the elephant.
Like what else was she gonna do with that elephant? She lugged it around Salem with her.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
She lugged 2 of them one time in that big ass bag.
Yeah,
and then she's clumsily dropping them. And
well, and this is the other thing too that I was gonna say. They were when Nicole and Eric were talking about the elephant and like where they found it and everything. It was so funny because like one sentence it was like, oh, it was just a trinket that we bought on the street. But then the next time he was like, but it's so unique and it's so. I'm like, well, is it a trinket or is it unique? Because if it's a trinket,
it's a unique trinket.
Yeah, whatever.
I love how she was talking to Eric about it, and she was trying to have him re-say that there was 2, just to reconfirm that there was 2 elephants.
There were 2. Yeah, there were 2. I had one.
But you know what I did? I actually liked the idea that they came up with for her was that she would like to get another one to give to. I like that idea. I was like, oh, that actually kind of sounds like a legit reason. Like sometimes they come up with far-fetched stuff. So I was kind of, well, that at least is a legit reason to want to find the elephant, to give it to her as like kind of a peace offering. Like, I know how much this meant to you. Here, this is like it was legit. For me, it was legit. For me, I don't want one.
Listen,
I want that one here.
We want to hear it on the show.
Other than that, I don't want it.
Completely DONE with that elephant. I am so done with the elephant.
I'm not done with it. I am still done with it. But I'm just saying you know what I'm talking about. No. The excuses they come up with.
Well, we will see how this story unfolds and if Nicole will finally crack the case and will be able to...
And find love.
Find love. And also figure out this mystery of the elephant and this connection with Serena and Xander. Well, let's see what our fans think about this storyline. Let's take it to the chat room.
Cue to the chat room! Yes! I'm allowed to look now.
We should have a soundbite for the chat room.
For the chat room?
From conversion to the chat room.
Let's see.
Someone said, I wish she wouldn't talk to herself in public.
Melanie talks to herself in public.
Lily is tired of the elephant also.
Daquan is in the room, and he said James, who comes and co-hosts with us sometimes when one of us is not here, he said hashtag Derek back. Bring Derek back.
Oh, yes. Dylan Matthews says, I have a question. Does Nicole do any work apart from shuffling her paperwork?
No.
And punching the keys on her keyboard.
No, she sits in the office, she has a conversation with herself, she gets an idea, and she heads out.
And Leah talks to herself all the time, too. So we'll put Leah in a room by herself and Nicole in a room by herself.
Someone said Jack and Nicole could run The Spectator.
There you go.
Miss Jenna 1211.
What is this? Hashtag MX Mixinson? I don't know what that means.
I'm with our Melvin fan. Hashtag smash the elephant. I can't.
Yeah. Maybe that's how it'll end. Maybe it'll end with the elephant getting smashed and
maybe
walk out of town.
Thrown out the window.
Step over it and walk out of town.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Just putting her back instead of working at the hospital. It's silly. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Jen shouldn't be at the hospital. Abby could be, because Abby's a writer too.
Is she?
Yeah, remember she had a whole thing back when she wrote that paper about Jack.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right when he was first coming back.
And then there could be this whole Sonic spectator kind of battle.
And was that... Okay, we'll talk about it later then.
What?
Was that Zoe that
No, I don't think that was
okay. What's his name was talking to in the park? Who was it? Who am I thinking of?
That was talking to who in the
pictures.
park?
Who had the pictures of? Oh, it was.
No. That's like a henchman for Xander.
Oh, yeah,
remember she was there, like, she was in the edge of the square. At one time.
Okay. Because I kept looking, I'm like, is that Zoe?
No. Yeah, no.
Okay.
No, that's not
with
right.
Asian writing.
Sorry, I jumped ahead. It just popped in my head, and I didn't want to forget.
That was
part of the Xander storyline.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
You're good.
Yeah,
okay.
Speaking of storylines.
I just remember who it was that she was talking to now.
Right. Which storyline do we have next?
What was it? I forgot what was. Mine was Will, Sonny, and Paul.
Yes.
So the week started with Will coming back, and Paul was in the apartment holding his bait. And that didn't go over very well.
That did not go over well at all.
And there was a confrontation, and a punch was thrown.
Which apparently knocked him out.
Gay boy a flyer.
Oh my god!
But the best was his reaction.
Amazing.
Like, I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't want anyone to know that he knocked me out.
Amazing.
That's embarrassing.
You don't know how many times I rewinded that and played that.
So
I've been waiting for that moment forever.
I was telling you before we started, I don't know if I think you were in there. I sent a tweet about it saying Paul gave Will what all the fans have been waiting for, and somebody replied to me. It was like, "You're so mean."
No, well, here's the thing about that storyline.
Should I have said most of the fans? Sorry to include you in that.
Well, here's the thing: is that Will keeps playing the victim, and he keeps blaming Paul for everything. And I get it; he's threatened because
I get it.
Let's face it: Sonny still loves Paul, but he will not admit it because he's very committed to his relationship with Will. Will will not get it together.
I think Will and Justin need to be shoved in a closet somewhere and just be away from everybody. I'm done with both of them whining and complaining and acting holier than thou.
Exactly. But I like the fact that Paul actually went to Sonny and was like, I do have feelings for you.
I love that, and I love
how do you feel?
That he went at it with John and used the whole Marlena thing again.
Well, because Will's the one who Will calling Tori
whore. That's what got him punched in the face. He was like, if your mom wasn't running around like a whore, you know what? There are two words that people like to use at Days of Our Lives. Slut and whore. If you're not
every once in a while we get skanked.
If you're not a slut, you're a whore. But that's the only two that I feel like we hear. It's very rare for us to hear bitch. It's very rare to hear skank. But whore
I feel like someone
and
said
slut.
Son of a bitch the other day.
Yeah, you can say that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Pixelate.
But my favorite thing that happened, and I sent you guys that clip, was when Paul called Sonny, and Will answered the phone, and he was all like, "Leave us alone." I thought that was so funny. Yeah. I rewinded that part so many times.
Yeah.
But as Mark was saying, I'm glad that Will told Paul about John, and then Paul
about John and Marlena.
Yeah, and then Paul went to John and was like, I'm just like you.
Yeah.
I have
father like son.
Yeah. I have this love for this.
And what did he say to him too? He was like. What was the final thing that he said before he walked away that really made John go, okay, I kind of have to let him do what he wants to do? He was like, what if somebody had told Marlena what you're telling me, that would mean that Marlena wouldn't be with him or something along those lines, and it was like, okay, got me.
You got it.
Yeah. But I kind of feel like John and Marlena's situation is completely different than Sonny and Paul's because they went through a lot. John thought he was Roman at one point.
There were
a lot. Marlena was a devil at one. There's
after. It was later.
Well, I'm just saying. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of history that made them not be able to be together. The only thing that's really standing in the way of Paul and Sonny is Sammy Jr.
Yeah.
Will.
SJ.
Right, but also the fact that Sonny just doesn't want to admit that he is still in love with Paul. Yeah. He has a care for him, which is different than being in love with him. But I'm so glad that
Paul's being more aggressive now.
Yeah.
I loved it. I wrote in my notes. I love seeing Paul, a darker side of Phil.
Yeah. I love his confidence that he was like, I'm not going to play this game anymore.
Paul is like, I want my man.
Yeah.
And I want him now.
Yeah.
I want my man like I want baseball now.
He wants to get a home run.
Right.
Oh, another thing I was going to say, I know I was just... I was drifting, obviously, at some point in the episode. That I was thinking that I think and if Days wants me to come in and help, I can do this. I just think we need to gay up Sonny and Will's apartment. Just like, I think it needs a little more gay.
What do you need?
You mean that Vegas poster in the back?
Doesn't work for you? It's not really that gay.
Like, should it be like a big photo of Julie Newmar that says
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind.
Or like Cher.
A boa.
Or like, every time someone walks in, like a disco ball comes out.
I like
and it's
that
like,
idea. I just
there we go. That's how Tony can be
it seems like every other apartment.
That's how Tony can be introduced. He can be interior decorator.
There you go.
Hashtag Maxine Son.
There's actually a couple in there. Maxine Sons. Hashtag.
You come in as the interior decorator.
Yeah,
I love it.
You could be the what's his name? The one that was on Anna Nicole show.
Oh, Bobby Trendy.
Bobby Trendy.
Those are some shoes to fill.
Those are some big shoes to fill.
Platform shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Platform shoes to fill.
I mean, I guess, we'll see what happens with that whole storyline. I'm wondering, I'm curious.
The whole babysitter situation when Paul first got there.
Yeah.
When he first got, she's like, I gotta take Ari to the hospital. Everybody was like, what? I was like, what happened? I'm like, you're not a very good babysitter.
Because when Paul got there and she was like, I'm here with the baby and I need to get to the hospital now. I'm like, what happened to Ari?
Right.
And then it was like, no, my sister called. And I'm like, and I have a key. And I'm like, or no, she needed like the insurance information. Yeah. She was the only person that had it. And then I can't give it over the phone. So you mean to tell me your sister is probably being held up and can't be worked on because they need her insurance information? I know, right? And you on a babysitting job?
Yeah.
Days, y'all tried it.
And she didn't have Sonny's right number. That's why she couldn't.
Horrible.
That's right.
Horrible babysitter. Well, first of all, when you are babysitting for someone, don't you write down all the emergency numbers on the
right?
Yeah. And how many babysitters have they had? And I'm sure this isn't her first time.
Right, exactly. Well, I don't know if this is the same one or you know what I mean?
But it's a different one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's always the same one.
Which, shout out to her because she was supposed to be here today.
Yeah, Valerie Curiel was going to come. She's a friend of mine, so she was actually going to come in today. And she was watching all week, but then she got a call back tonight on a Sunday of all times. For
dreaded callbacks.
So I know.
Well, how dare she go on a callback?
She said she's actually been in a couple times for auditions there. So maybe we'll see more of her for other stuff.
I think that's what happens when you get brought in a lot and then they finally find something for you and then they use you. Yeah. Which I really wish they would call me in at one point in time so that I can start that audition process for hashtag Maxine Son.
I mean, I think Jorge got in quicker than you.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Can you imagine if I was Jorge?
They call you Jorge?
Jorge.
They'll call me what's the black equivalent of Jorge? Jordan.
Jordan?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
What is the? What is it? I feel like there is a J name.
Jamal.
That's it.
There
Jerome.
it is.
That's it.
So let's find out what the fans are saying.
Everyone's like, why is this so funny to them? Well, we had a conversation before the show. So
this is a thing, people. This is a thing right now.
And see, Leah also misses The Spectator. I know that's not what we're talking about, but that's okay. Unless this isn't updated.
Well,
did mine freeze?
Did yours freeze too?
What is your last comment? That mine says is Leah's comment. That was gross.
Oh, actually, my internet just stopped working.
Oh, mine is out too.
Yep.
Boom.
So apparently we can't tag it to the chat room anymore.
Well, that solves that problem.
Well, there's that.
Well,
all
then
right.
I guess maybe we should move on to the next storyline.
Yes.
We can maybe refresh the internet for us. That would be fantastic.
Well, let's move on to the big storyline that's been on everybody's lips.
It happened! It
happened finally. It wasn't exactly as we thought.
I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to take a nap right now.
It wasn't as Mark predicted last week that it was actually going to happen at her party, but it happened before her party.
But it happened at the party.
No, she found out.
No, she found out at the apartment. But you were right. She overheard the whole conversation. Right. Which, by the way,
it tied into the birthday. That was my point.
Yeah. But by the way,
we'll give it to you.
I don't know.
Do I win the playing cards?
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
I don't know.
We can play them at the pizza party.
Yes. I don't know if you guys do this or not, but if you need to have a conversation at your house don't you check to make sure that no one else is in the house before you have the conversation?
Well, not if you live alone.
Let's back up.
Oh,
Yeah,
mine
I don't know if you're going to check every single room if you live alone.
I do. Like
Really?
if I'm
But you have roommates.
I do have roommates.
But if you lived alone, would you?
Oh, here we go.
But she doesn't live alone.
Yes, she does.
But Paige still comes in every now and then.
Everyone's in
She
jail.
does, and she made a comment.
but she made the comment.
Paige lives in the dorms across the street from Jennifer's house.
No, but she made the comment was, "Oh, I thought you were asleep." So she knew Paige was there.
Really? No, that was after when Paige walks out.
When Paige walked out,
she was surprised that she was there.
She was like, "Oh, honey, I thought you were asleep." And
well, because Paige said she was asleep.
Either way, she knew she was there.
I don't know.
She had to have a feeling.
I think that might have been her going, like trying to cover, like, "Oh, I thought you were asleep."
Yeah.
Da, da, da,
Well,
because she kept making all those comments like, "Well, you were drowsy."
I heard somebody.
Yeah.
I heard a male's voice, which I think was kind of good. I see where they were trying to go. How she was trying to set up Eve.
Yeah.
Because obviously she knew all along what was going on. I mean, at that time, because she overheard everything. But the fact that she was setting her up and seeing if Eve was gonna lie or tell the truth.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Oh, I heard a man's voice. Oh, it was a delivery guy. Oh, well, no, it was actually JJ.
Oh, first it was the TV.
Yeah, then the delivery guy.
Then
and then
the
she was
delivery
like,
guy. Well, that
I recognize JJ's voice. I've been with him every day.
That wasn't the only time she got set up this week.
What else? What was it?
When JJ had the phone and was texting
Which
her.
I didn't really understand. What is he prove? I mean, he's proving that she was in cahoots with Cole.
With Cole to plant the marijuana in his bag.
And I get that that's only going to help him if he were to get in trouble. So what does that have? Like,
I think,
and Paige already confronted Cole about it,
but he didn't know that.
Because it was happening at the same time.
Okay.
So I think what JJ wanted to do was he wanted to nail her, no pun intended.
I think that already happened.
So that
3 times.
he would leave him and Paige alone. So he wanted to have proof to like, listen, this is it. This is the last straw. I got you on candid camera.
Got you on camera.
Leave us alone.
Yeah. Leave me alone now.
But who would have thunk that they would go back and have that argument?
Yeah, back in the apartment. Yeah.
Where all the beans were spilled. And I thought Paige would have been a little more upset.
And but it was kind of, me and Mark were talking
I'm not
about
commenting on anything.
Me and Mark were discussing it before about how creepy it was when Paige pulled Eve into her and whispered in her ear like,
that was
I
just
know everything.
Bizarre.
And it was like, I was saying that's kind of like something out of like a horror movie, like I killed your mother or something like that. It was just so creepy.
Yeah, it was I felt it was a bit odd. It was a bit odd. Yeah. It wasn't odd when she slapped the doo-doo out of her though.
Yeah,
we still talking about Paige?
Yes, we're still talking about Paige. So we're going to move on to
see what the chat room says.
Going into we're moving on to where she goes into when she gets to Jennifer's house.
She was completely. First of all, like
her face.
I can only imagine being hit with all of that and then having to go and like seem cool, and it's like, I felt like for her, she was like, "You've got to be kidding me. I don't want to see all these people."
Right.
And she's trying to put on a brave face. She's not doing a great job. And everyone's like, what happened? What's happening? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just like...
And then Jennifer came up to her, was like, are you okay? You okay?
I love that Kayla had the bright idea of, oh, you know what? She told me a few weeks ago that she doesn't like surprises. Well, Kayla, you've been at this party for how long? You could have mentioned that before Paige got there.
Right?
Ridiculous.
Oh.
Ridiculous. And
then the confrontation, right? When she comes in and
she went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Before everybody was complimenting JJ, how JJ is the perfect boyfriend.
Yes.
And even Daphne was like, I have to admit, she's nothing but happy when she's with you. I'm like, Daphne, you have not one day in Salem like that boy.
And I was just thinking, like, I think that was just making her bubble and boil, and just finally she just snapped.
And that speech that he gave, I think that's when she was just like, you mother. Get out of my face.
And Abby's face when she knocked off the cake.
Well, everyone's face.
Yeah.
And even JJ was like, Paige, what'd you do that for? And I love this. She walked away like, I'm not going to deal with this. And then she came back with that thought of like, oh hell no, boom, and just like, and everyone was like, oh my god,
holding her back.
Liar! She freaked out.
Yeah.
You know who didn't freak out? Kayla and Rory.
No.
Especially Rory.
Oh,
yeah.
Not again.
Yeah. But she just like let him have it.
Yeah.
And everything came just tumbling down, and like, you know, and there's Jen and Daniel, and I feel like you could caption Daniel's face as like, I told y'all to tell her.
Mm-hmm. Right? Totally. Totally. The bubble above his head, that's exactly what it would
say. And then
say.
when Paige confronted Jen, and she's like, oh my god, you knew.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah.
And then when everybody's face, when they realized that Jennifer knew the whole time, I was just like...
And Daniel's crying. We don't know why, but he's crying.
It's very emotional. He's Maggie's son.
Clearly.
And Melanie's father. Daquan, that was for you.
But and then Abigail has a lot of questions as far as like, you know, what's going on, what's happening, and
she puts it all together from the past and stuff like that.
When she saw Jen in the office. And then Maggie puts together that Daniel knew more, and then she's like, I feel like Maggie wanted to say, gosh darn it, like, you knew too? What is wrong with you people?
Dang, nabbit.
Like, for some reason, the whole time when everything was going down, I for some reason looked at Maggie, and I just picture her thinking like, what is going on in this city? It's like people are kidnapping babies, people are in Italy killing people, and now we got this.
I think she's like the moral compass of the show, that's why.
Yeah.
So we always look towards Maggie.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to look towards Jen, but not anymore.
Yeah.
I like how they brought that up, who was it? Was it Abby?
Which?
Who was saying that Jen was like...
Yeah, Abby.
Yeah, she couldn't do no wrong.
When she was talking
to
Jen. Comment. Yeah, she makes a comment about it, that she used to put her up on a pedestal.
Yeah. And then Eve comes to the party.
Late.
And, of course. Listen, she's dealing with her own emotional stuff.
Maybe that's foreshadowing.
Spandex.
Dress.
She's late.
She looked great.
Oh.
Way to put that together, Mark.
Foreshadowing.
But I like that she's just kind of like, you know, you still have your son. I've lost my daughter. Mm-hmm. Where is my daughter?
Yeah, and then when she left and she was like, I will make her pay. I just want to know what she's going to do now to Jennifer. But I'm still pulling that they become BFFs.
Jen and Eve?
Yeah.
That's never going to happen.
We'll see what happens with that. Let's take it to the chat room and find out what everyone thinks. Chris Miller says Rory was funny.
Susie says the pregnancy would force Jen and Eve to come together.
If Paige was pregnant?
Yeah.
Daquan says, can it, Mark?
I know, I was ignoring you, Daquan.
I kept looking at Daniel in the background, looking like, yep, I told you so. Yep, I'm with you.
Someone's mentioning when Rory and Daniel gave the high five.
Oh, yeah.
That awkward high five.
Where's that?
Down there, scroll up.
Oh.
R. Melvin said, if Paige gets pregnant, I'm going to throw my TV out the window. No. Sandra E. when Rory said, oh, dude.
Carolyn says she liked the slap to JJ was great, but I like your idea that she should have thrown the cake in his face.
Yeah, she totally should have. Mm-hmm. But that's what I would have done. All right, so we are starting to run out of time. I know how much time we have left, but just to forewarn you, Brittany, I'm going to go over. All right, so let's go into some quick tidbits. So Marlena is finally back from Italy.
With a tousled head of hair.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to push her out of the plane like with a parachute or something.
That guy keeps coming back and she's like, no, don't do this. No. And then all of a sudden she's just like left in the park and is like...
Back to square one.
Yeah, and it's like, your battery's not charged. This never happened. I'm like, what is this, Men in Black? When he was about to go here and just like walk away. But I'm glad that Stefano didn't do anything to her per Chad. Mm-hmm. Although we all know Stefano does not like being threatened.
Told what to do. Right.
But I'm glad that like he got, listen, Stefano, get over it. Like, we all know Kristen was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
But she was crazy. You can't avenge the death of a crazy person.
That's what Chad was telling him.
Yeah.
No, and
when he was like using that whole family thing. When Stefano was trying to do the whole family thing, and Chad's like, well, family, you can't use that word when it's being used against you.
Yeah. So
I know I'm not supposed to do this, but London Beckham wants me to give her a shout out.
Are we in the chat room yet, Mark?
It just popped up.
Have we taken it to the chat room?
London, I think it's a girl.
Okay. Did you give her a shout out?
I just did.
Okay.
London. That's for you.
And now you're back to us because it's not time to go to the chat room yet. All right. So, and then I love that she just runs into John in Hortontown Square, and that was I thought then
she was like
yeah, and I thought then like, John, have you not tried to call her in the past? Well, I don't know. How long has she been in Italy?
He has a new grandchild and a new son. He is occupied.
And she just brushed it off really quick.
Yeah.
It's like, no, forget about that. Forget about it. I just almost got thrown out of the window.
Yeah. Forget that I was kidnapped, taken to Italy, confronted Stefano, had a memory with him and a flashback, brought back, and then it's like,
Yeah.
You have a kid?
Yeah. This is a day trip, Marlena.
Yeah.
Maybe for her.
Yeah, well,
As many times that she's been kidnapped.
So speaking of new babies, Brady, Teresa, Melanie.
Tate.
Which someone in the chat room did guess that it was Tate.
Yeah, I think somebody made a comment too that they saw that somebody in the. I don't know where that came from, but
so
I mean, good guess, I guess.
Yeah. So Teresa's all like mommy dearest now and's all like in love with the baby, blah blah blah. Brady proposes to Melanie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to say this because I know I'm probably going to get a look from Mark. But when Brady actually proposed to Melanie, I kind of teared up a little bit.
Really?
I was kind of really touched. Just the
Tears of laughter?
Just the way he did it.
Oh, that was cute. Like, I have to do it right now.
Yeah.
In this moment. I want to do it big.
Well, James predicted that it would be... Teresa, not
But like when he said that, and he's like,
wrong, James.
Just your smile is going to be yes enough for me. Yeah. And I was just like, oh. I don't know, maybe I was just emotional
that
day.
Well, but we all know that they're not getting married.
We know that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Moving right through before...
Kim came along, Kim.
Yeah,
Kim.
Which I loved that she kept calling her G.
Yeah. And it was like, Teresa.
Right up there with Kate calling Tammy Sue. Jordan Ridgway.
Yeah, but I love that she has this whole plan to take Teresa back to California. I wonder what legal issues.
That's, I think, going to be the new.
About.
I think that's the new story. I think that's what we're going to do.
The whole legal issue is why she's in Salem is because she has to do her little community service there.
But I wonder if it has something to do with the fact that she's in Italy.
We're going like that.
I wonder if it had to do anything with her going to Italy. I mean, she got kidnapped, so.
Oh, you think
like
that's
if
what it is?
Like if she's not supposed to leave the country or something like that.
That could be maybe.
And that's the legal issues.
Could be.
I don't know. We'll see. New storyline for her. Are you in the chat room?
Well, this is almost shocking to me.
What's that?
That Daquan is saying he is praying Melanie says no and throws the ring in his face.
Interesting.
That's kind of surprising coming from Daquan. That surprises me.
Maybe he believes that Melanie deserves better.
Maybe. Speaking of deserving better, Lucas and Adrian.
That made me smile. That's when I caught myself smiling again this week.
Were they in bed?
Just them chit-chatting and...
Justin needs to stop acting like he's the victim when he's clearly sitting there.
Done. And I love that she said that, like, he finally...
How's Elsa? That's how I would have been.
She said 2 or 3 times.
She's like, and I'll ask again.
How's Elsa?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, you are in other people's bed and blah, blah. And she's like, how's Elsa?
Yeah.
Because you're still missing her.
Yeah.
Right.
So how's her? So are we rooting for Lucas and Adrian? I'm still not sure.
Really.
I'm still not sure.
Not me.
But Lucas, I like that Lucas did ask, like, you're
I haven't decided. I haven't committed, but I'm leaning.
And I committed.
Right. Well, speaking of being committed, like, Lucas does ask, like, what this means.
Go see a therapist.
What this means for him and Adrian. The fact that Adrian is in bed with him, like, what does this mean? Like, Lucas wants to know.
Means at least she wanted a piece.
Clearly. Yeah.
Clearly, and I take back my shout out to London because now she just said that she loves Melanie. Sorry.
Oh, rude.
I take back my shout out.
And then real quickly, Chad and Abigail, something's going on. That envelope has a secret, and I want to know what it is.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
Pregnancy.
I think, yeah.
It's another baby?
EJ's baby.
I think it's the baby. I think it's the baby she had with
EJ.
With
I can't win any more
what's
babies.
going to happen, this is what I think is going to happen. Mark my words. Mark my words. They're going to have sex.
Who? Chad
and Abby.
And
they're going to... And Stefano's going to find a way to put that embryo and so that it appears to be her and Chad's baby to keep them together.
Do you think that's...
But then it will end up biting them in the butt because...
Now listen, this has been a while. That baby should have been developed and grown by now.
No, she took the
embryo.
Embryo. Can't you just... Oh, I guess you can't freeze it.
You can't.
No. Well, maybe it is already born.
I don't know. It could be already born because
it's got to be.
They could still swap it out.
No. Do you think that's why way back when EJ died, Kristen was there and she like punched something with EJ with the needle. With the needle. Do you think that has something to do with it?
I think so.
I thought it had something to do with they were going to pop him back up. Oh. Like he was going to be up in the casket and go, and then it was going to cut to like the next day.
Well, I still think he's alive too, but
yeah.
And I still think Jack's alive.
We'll see. Right. Hashtag bring Jack back. All right. And that has been your recap of days. Now let's go into our fun segment. And we're going to start with the 3 Snaps Award. That's right. My favorite segment of all. Now, this 3 Snaps Award goes to someone who has had a very trying time. And I'm going to give it to Paige simply because of this clip.
Play.
Is it playing, Brittany?
Oh, there.
Oh, here it comes.
Why did you do that?
Oh no, I don't want to deal with this. Oh, hell no. While your friends stand there and wonder what happened. So my 3 Snaps Award goes to Paige, who decided, I'm not going to walk away from this situation. I'm going to give you a piece of my mind and slap the dog piss out of you.
Make my mind.
Exactly. So Paige gets my 3 Snaps Award. All right. And on to our WTF moment.
I'm just going to play off of Tony because my WTF goes to Paige also. To be me saying, I wish she would have gotten more angrier than she already did. Mm-hmm. I mean, if it was me, my significant other sleeping with my mom, I would have blown up then and there. I wouldn't have to try to be sneaky. I wouldn't try what she did, like try to be like set her mom up. It'd just be like boom, right out there. It's like, no. And then she actually was standing there listening to JJ try to explain everything. It's like, no, I would have shut everybody out and be like, no, this is it. Got that cake, like you said, actually
threw it in his face.
I would have been knocking over furniture. I would have just been
You would have went Incredible Hulk on them.
I would have been ballistic. I'm sorry. I mean, I wouldn't assault my mother, but I'm just saying I would have just gone ballistic and tore the whole house apart.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's me.
That's your WTF moment?
To my WTF. I wish Paige would have gotten even more upset than she did.
I do too. But I think it built, especially with that slap.
But that's all that happened. I mean, she should have slapped so many other people.
She slapped Eve.
Huh?
Who else was she? Was she supposed to go around like slapping Jennifer and Daniel?
Jennifer, yeah. I slapped Jennifer, slapped Cole, slapped,
just everybody. On a slapping frenzy.
Yeah.
The Salem Slapper.
Salem Slapper. I love it.
And Mark, what is our quote of the week?
My quote of the week. I'm going to piggyback off of you guys, and my quote of the week is going to come from Kevin Riggin, also known as Rory, when he said, "Oh, dude."
That's the shortest quote you've ever said.
Of the week. I'm going to tweet him. I'm going to tweet him later.
Tweet him.
That'll fit in a tweet.
Yeah, it will. It will.
And what was that in reaction to?
Into JJ sleeping with Eve.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Well, of course, as you guys know, Days of Our Lives is celebrating their 50th year this year, so we want to take you back on our favorite and memorable storylines and characters with the hashtag Those Were the Days. And of course, this week goes to Mark with his favorite character of all.
I think
Jordan Ridgway?
What? Jordan Ridgway.
What?
Melanie Jonas?
Check that back.
Melanie Jonas? When she was party girl?
All right, focus on me, everybody. Stay focused.
Rex and Cassie? Who?
Jack Devereaux. Jack Harcourt Devereaux is his full name. Originally born William Earl Johnson, was called Billy. I was actually just going through. I really just wanted, because I just want, I love my Jack, and I want to bring Jack back. Hashtag bring Jack back.
Yes.
Hashtag it. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. We do also to get some more, maybe some viewers. We did have an interview with Matthew Ashford a while back.
Our Spotlight on.
Spotlight on. So make sure you Google that and watch that and like it and rate it on iTunes, all that good stuff. But no, I was just like watching back the Jack and Jennifer's first meeting, Jack and Jennifer's first kiss, and it's just. And now, especially, and then I just saw that Steve is coming back, and he's going to be on contract.
Yes.
He's there. Adrian's there. His kids are there. I mean...
His kids need them now.
His kids need him. I tweeted that the other day. I said it before and I'll say it again. Hashtag bring Jack back.
That'd be great when you come back.
And those were the days. Actually, a real quick trivia question. Maybe we can use this to give something away. If somebody knows the name of the horse that Jennifer wanted to write the story about in her first meeting with Jack.
Oh.
There was a specific horse. She wanted to write a story about this horse and follow him through training and doing a race. And she was coming to Diana Carville to present the idea, and Jack was in there. That's her first meeting with Jack. And he's like, well, tell me your idea. Let me hear it. And she didn't want to tell him, and then she tells him. But at the very end, she says the name of the horse. And
we'll see if someone in our chat room can get the name of that horse, and then if not, you can tweet us.
Yeah.
And we'll send them something, right, Peter?
We have something to send, okay? We'll send you a Kleenex with my autograph.
or a mouse pad.
All right, so of course,
a horseshoe.
So, moving things right along.
A pump.
As you guys know, I like to play a little game called Spot Tony whenever you can spot me in the background of days, and this was no exception. 2 weeks ago, I was lurking around Horton Town Square having a little bit of lunch behind Melanie, and here I am right here. You see me. Look at that. I'm having an intense conversation with somebody.
And clearly Melanie's eavesdropping on you.
Yes, clearly. Or I'm eavesdropping on her. So
that's why you're leaning in like that.
That's why I'm leaning in. So, Days fans, make sure you always pay attention to the episodes, because you never know when #Maxine Sun may be lurking around Salem. And if you spot me, make sure you tweet us using the hashtag #SpotTony. All right, let's go into some news and gossip really quick. We'll just go right into it. So, first off, we have the Canada event that is happening this coming weekend.
Yes.
It is through Stars Canada event, and people like Jen Lilly and Galen Gehring, Billy Flynn, James Scott, Eric Martsoff, Brian Datillo, all of them will be in Canada this weekend, and we have been wanting to give away 2 tickets to the Q&A, and we asked you guys to go to our Facebook page, Dish and Days, and list the question that you would ask at the Q&A. The best question will win. We got tons.
Oh yeah, totally.
Of entries, but we settled on one. And Peter, who is the winner of 2 tickets to the Q&A?
I don't know, Tony. Who is it?
Lord.
Joe.
They have to do everything around here.
I just want you to say Joe who?
Joe Byers.
Oh, Joe Mama.
Joe,
what was his question?
That I don't know, but it was a good enough one to win 2 tickets to the Q&A for our Canada event happening on May 30th in Toronto, Canada.
So we'll be messaging you, Joe.
Yes. So just so you know, Joe, accommodations are not. What am I looking for? Provided by us here at AfterBuzz. You have to get your own way, but you got 2 tickets. So congratulations to Joe. Yay! You are going to get to ask questions to all these wonderful people. Tell them that we said hi, and make sure you tweet us photos from the event, so that way we can share them on Sunday the 31st. We'll share it.
Especially ones of Billy Flynn.
Exactly. Also, just to let you guys know, this Wednesday, May 27th at 6 p.m. right here on AfterBuzz TV, we will have a Spotlight On interview with Rachel Melvin, ex-Chelsea Brady. Chelsea Brady, right?
Chelsea Brady. Yeah.
And she is going to dish on her time during Days and what her favorite storyline was, and also catch us up on what she's been doing since Days. So it's going to be a fun interview, and it's going to be live, so we will take your questions. So make sure you watch our Spotlight On interview with the one and only Rachel Melvin.
When is it, Wednesday?
This coming Wednesday. The 27th at 6 p.m.
I'm going to try and be
Pacific Standard Time.
Yes, Pacific Standard Time.
I'm going to try to come.
Yes. Okay. And that is it.
That's a wrap.
That is a wrap. That is it. We have to go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Dish and Days. Before we go, Mark, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lorraine Love, LORAYNELOVE, or on Facebook / the Mark J Freeman.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at The Real Dooligan. You can find us on Facebook / Dish and Days.
And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms: Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at Lounging with Tony, or my website, loungingwithtony.com. Thank you guys guys for tuning in. We are here every Sunday now at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And don't forget, make sure you subscribe to us. Make sure you post our link, because once we get to 2,000 views, one of you is going to win a fantastic prize. And once we get to 1,000 friends on our Audition Days page, we're going to give a whole bunch of stuff away. So make sure you help us out. Until then, we'll see you next Sunday for another Audition Days.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.